What's up, guys? Welcome back to FYCCast episode 5. Fuck you, Cordova.
Don't do it.
Back
Don't do it.
with
Fucking Christ.
Dom?
Hate you so fucking much.
and Ama.
That's a weird name.
Yeah. How'd you get that name?
Because of pure hatred and despair.
Why don't you like the intro? Let's discuss this.
Oh, is this official?
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys, what's up? Back here with super awkward intro once again.
What?
It's not that awkward.
It's
not awkward.
Just with you here.
Yeah, just with me.
Yeah. All right.
It wasn't awkward till you make it awkward.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, fuck you guys. How's your day going? That's awkward.
I actually like that. That's a really good intro. My day's going pretty good. I'm really comfortable with being insulted in a comedic sense.
Are you though?
Every time you cast?
Every time I say a word,
it's
generally
always
exists.
funny. Yeah.
It's an insulted environment.
No, Cordova, you're being a little sensitive today.
Am I?
Yeah.
I think so.
You should have Snickers.
I think it's the fucking Starbucks. I'm Mike Gurley.
Alright, so today I guess we're going to talk about a couple things and move on to anime and, of course, our story time and everything. But today, Dom's going to start us off with our conversations. So I know you have a couple topics that you want to talk about.
Yeah,
Go
sure.
ahead and start us off.
Alrighty, so you guys know my fascination with the universe, so I'm always looking up scientific things regarding it.
Right.
And yesterday, November 4th, NASA made a pretty big breakthrough. They saw for the first time ever something coming out of a black hole.
That is fucking crazy.
Like what?
Just, it was an object.
Science stuff?
Yeah.
An object?
An object came out of, matter came out of a black hole, which is completely against our current theories on black holes.
Were they able to measure the matter? Was it thinned out, or was it actually did it grow and expand when it was released from the dark?
So what happened was they saw the black hole's corona launch away from the supermassive black hole.
Okay.
So it's just like light, essentially, I guess, leaving.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming that's what the corona.
Mm-hmm.
So light
either way, it's still something. We didn't think anything could escape from the black hole, and something's moving away from it.
Yeah. It's certainly not light, because as far as black hole theory is concerned, light and time and space all are void within a black hole. So everything just gets sucked up and nothing exists within it. So to be able to see light coming from the black hole would suggest that it's completely against our theories.
Yeah, no, yeah, that mean that all of the principles behind what a black hole is aren't true.
Mm-hmm.
Which is weird, because then we don't know what a black hole is.
I mean, we can make assumptions, because I don't think that a human has ever experienced a black hole ever.
We sent a monkey into a black hole. Is that a lie?
I think that's a lie. I don't think that's allowed in our...
Also, I think it takes a little bit longer.
Yeah, because black
holes are so far away. Yeah, if they were close enough for us to send a monkey, we would all be dead.
It poses
that's
no
also
threat to
you're asking, I don't think that's possible in our current universe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, but this goes back to a really interesting
I think it's a movie. And I saw them send a monkey into a black hole.
If you said in the movie, it must be true.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't it?
Oh yeah.
I'm confused.
What was the movie that they sent the team out into space? And
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking. Intergalactic or
it was 2001: A Space
Interstellar.
Odyssey.
No, Interstellar. This most recent movie, Interstellar, fucking amazing. But they sent this guy essentially into a black hole, and it was after the whole drama was played out. He was essentially trapped going into a black hole, and he gets there, and it's just this infinite, I guess, existence, because he's able to see all of the things that happened in his life from an outside perspective, and he was able to influence the gravitational fields in certain areas to suggest to his daughter and to himself that something outside of what was going on was actually happening. So they were completely clueless until the daughter goes back and figures out that the gravitational field that was being placed in that area was a message from him being in the black hole in this infinite existence.
Yeah, because since black holes are devoid of time, you would literally see everything in the universe before
Yeah.
being.
So it was it was an infinite existence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds so terrible.
You want to live for the rest of eternity? Go inside of there.
It was...
Can I not?
Yeah, no, really. Because as far as we're able to postulate at this point, a human, let alone any matter, could not survive in a black hole at all.
Yeah.
All matter is essentially crushed.
It's stretched out to the point of like
Infinite,
obliteration.
Yeah. It's stretched out and crushed, essentially. Like, it cannot exist. But now we have, I guess, not really proof, but another postulation that comes out of, we find this light that comes out of the black hole. What the fuck? Where do we go from here?
Would that mean that something
Science
was
is broken.
fast enough to escape the grasp of a black hole?
Not even light is fast
Maybe
enough.
light was shot out at a speed that somehow is accelerated beyond what it's capable of, possibly? Or transported?
Well, what we can say about this is that the universe in its infinite, like, possibilities is way beyond the grasp of the human...
Yeah, that's true.
The current human understanding. Because
Yeah.
what we've got now is postulations. They're just theories based on, like, science, which, I mean, of course, I'm not debunking science at all because science gives us a lot of everything.
Yeah.
But we're left with a lot of questions
Yeah.
and a lot of answers that need to be answered. Questions that need to be answered.
So to pose a question from that,
Mhm.
does it weird you out that we can see all this stuff, yet we don't see any other life?
I mean,
Like, as far as we can see, I mean, we can look in a black hole and...
Yeah, I mean, there was that recent thing that they discovered, like, that kind of looked like a floating, like, civilization out in space, because it did
Like,
not match a planet or a moon.
it wasn't necessarily like... It didn't suggest civilization, but it suggested that it was not natural. It was an
There was
unnatural
some unnatural, like,
mass.
of
Yeah.
things somewhere really, really far away that was just barely caught off by, like, the glimpse of sun. But, I mean, it makes sense in the fact that the universe is fucking ridiculously expansive, and that the chances of, like, life the way that it is set up here is just
Yeah.
one in 100 trillionth of a... I mean, it's even beyond that.
The statistics for the possibility of life is so slim that we have
Life,
to have...
life as we understand it.
Yeah, life as we understand it. For carbon-based life forms,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's just so slim that Earth is the only known existence of life in and of itself.
Yeah, I mean,
That we know.
I read something recently, I believe, that they say that Earth might very well be some of the first planets to actually have, like, civilized, intelligent life because of the amount of time it would take for life forms to develop.
Yeah.
Like,
But
after
then-
the creation of planets, that we might be one of the first actual, like, not one of the first, but one of the more advanced, like, civilizations
Right.
out there in the
Isn't that
universe.
scary?
Kind
Yeah,
of.
no kidding. But it also goes back to, like, there's a theory about the beginning of life on Earth.
The Bible.
No. Not based in religion.
Thank you.
Yeah, really. But based on science and the way that things progressed, there's a theory out there that suggests that Earth was not habitable until several million years after it actually formed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the moon is actually a part of the Earth that split because it was rotating so quickly.
Okay.
And that something crashed into Earth that carried organisms that they weren't like the organisms we know now. They were obviously microbes.
Yeah.
And bacterial life.
It would make sense.
Which evolved then into the inhospitable environment that Earth was, until Earth became hospitable enough to allow for creatures to live on land,
Yeah.
and so on and so forth, and progresses through the theory of evolution. But they suggest that life itself is not inherent in Earth. It came to Earth in some kind of, like vessel, like a comet or like another planet that
I mean, it
caused this
definitely makes sense
split.
because how else would life have existed on Earth before? Even after this rotation and the heating process and stuff like that, there would be no microbes or any kind of life form that could have possibly been alive. It would have grown from nothingness.
Yeah.
So something would have had to have an outside influence.
Well, even the Big Bang is completely outside of our understanding as we know it, because as far as science is concerned, the church is teaching on ex nihilo, whatever, out of nothing something.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense because there had to be some kind of infinite existence outside of the Big Bang.
Yeah, no. The Big Bang Theory, I think it suggests the yo-yo theory, right?
The expansion and contraction of the universe, that it will reach a point,
explodes, it comes back,
and then it'll come back. It'll all like suck back into the one point and then
So
explode.
that's one theory. There's also the Big Freeze.
Big Freeze,
in which like it just there's no real bit. It just Big Bang. It doesn't really go back. It just everything freezes because there's no more energy.
Yeah. But that would take
which is weird.
Several
the
billion
Big Freeze
trillion
basically
years.
like it doesn't conflict with, but it doesn't necessarily agree with entropy, right? Because if entropy is true, that would mean that the universe would eventually just destroy itself. Because energy can't go anywhere. Energy can't be destroyed. It can only be created.
Energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be converted.
It can be converted,
Yeah.
But that way, I mean, it's still converting and it still exists in some other different form.
Yeah.
Which is, that's the other theory, right? Because there's the Big Freeze and then there's the idea that entropy will eventually destroy the universe. Right? I know what theory
that it'll
is.
just be converted into something
eventually, it's not the chaos theory, but it's the idea that eventually the universe will be engulfed in just erratic energy and everything will just just destroy itself. It will be unstable at some point.
Right, it'll be completely unstable. Well, I mean, that's what they suggest for the sun, that several billion years after the human existence has reached its limit on the Earth, that the sun is just going to essentially be so unstable that it will explode and become a black hole.
Yeah, no, that's 100% going to
happen. Yeah, it's going to happen, but
I don't think the sun's big enough to become a black hole. I thought that was a problem.
It might it's actually
it might not become.
It will explode at some point.
Yeah, it will explode, but it won't become a black hole.
Yeah, probably. I don't think
it's big enough.
It depends on how it grows, because suns and stars can grow, right?
They do grow, but at a very, very
slow rate. It's probably close to the size it's going to be in the end.
Right.
I think. Until they turn into when they die and they grow massive once they die, like bigger than they are.
When they die, they become a supernova.
They start pulling on more. They can't really just pull out. I read it. I read a whole article.
The gravity of the star that dies essentially becomes so great that it implodes within itself.
Yeah.
And the gravitational pull of the star will pull everything that's near it in whatever proximity
that's
ratio that it is to the size of the star. It will suck everything in and then explode. And that's like a supernova. That's why when we look at pictures of supernovas, that happened several billion years ago.
Yeah, because it's so far away.
But it doesn't exist anymore. We can still see the light, but it doesn't exist anymore because it takes such a long time to travel.
Going back, the idea that we're like one of the most advanced civilizations is kind of exciting because that means that humanity might be those council of space at some point. Because that would mean that we would be like one of the first pioneers into space.
As far as we know, though, you know.
I'm saying if it's true,
if it's true,
one of the most advanced, that means that we would be some of like the
as long as we can make it that far.
Yeah, as long as
we
we're
have
like,
to survive ourselves.
Killed by an asteroid, killed by each other, killed by a solar flare, which is always a possibility.
Yeah. A solar flare, as far as we're concerned, will not kill us. It will kill our technology.
I mean,
which obviously would make us
there's big enough solar flares that could fry us.
Yeah, but I mean, the possibility of that actually happening.
Oh, it would be cool, but it would suck.
Right.
I'm all for the progression.
I just picture Corvus in the room like, oh shit,
it's happening. It's happening.
Well, I mean, I'm all for the progression of society, but I mean,
although I think that
it's terrible.
If the world knew that was going to happen, like a solar flare of that scale was going to happen, I think that all of our money that's going to every scientific project would immediately be pulled and poured into like a global like
no. There would still be disagreement. There would always be people who say that's ridiculous. We're not going to spend money on that. You can't prove it's true.
I don't think that would happen. I think that if the human race was faced with an extinction of that scale, purely based on scientific research and truth of the fact that a solar flare would be coming to Earth, of that scale, I think that the human race would at least in some small way come together in even just the smallest unity. Even if it's like the most powerful nations coming together and saying, all right, take my money. Let's make like some kind of shield that can protect us long enough that it won't destroy humans.
Yeah.
It'll just affect like technology or whatever.
Yeah.
I think the human race will come together in that, and then we'll go back to being the dicks that we are.
I mean, hopefully it would make sense. The one thing that like makes humans for the most part is our drive to
survive.
To survive.
Yeah.
That's why humanity is where it is today.
That's why we have so much technology, and that's why our medical programs advanced so quickly. Not out of fear, but out of war and out of the will to survive, the necessity to survive.
Yeah, I mean that's why humans are.
The great majority of our medical achievements have actually come out of war.
Yeah,
they've been products of the Civil War, of the Revolution, of really kind of recent wars. But that's because our medicine has kind of progressed throughout, and we needed that. We had the drive to survive. We had that will that we have to survive no matter what. And if something like this is going to cause extinction like it did, like in the Black Plague, then we have to find a way to counteract this. And that's why medicine has really progressed so quickly within the last
people don't want to
200 years because,
we can go together. Hopefully, with some faith in humanity, that we would group up just to save everybody.
This goes back to a really interesting conversation that we had when we were with a friend in Socorro. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about the infinite theory, the infinite universe theory. No. It's a theory of infinite universes. And it's this whole paper, it was in the Scientific American Journal. And it suggests that another universe similar to ours is only, I say only because it's relative, but it's only like, I think they suggested 10 billion light years away, something like that, 10 trillion light years away, that from here, if we were to map the universe, that if we could possibly travel 10 billion light years in one direction, we would eventually reach a universe almost like ours with Earth, in that sense that there's an infinite possibility 10 billion years away that there's another universe that is similar to ours, just with different things that happened. So the way that we acted here, the way that things progressed, like World War II and all that stuff, didn't necessarily progress that way. So there could be a universe where Hitler actually won the war. There could be another universe, expounding on each potential to
there's limits on stuff like that, though. I mean, because if it would be necessarily true, that would mean there would be a universe that would currently right now have already interacted with us from a certain distance. So there's got to be limits on what physics allows.
Oh, of course. There's always limits, especially for the human existence.
Meaning that physics probably has a set rule across every universe for some reason.
Yeah.
Separate us all. You can't let them goodbye.
I mean,
really,
there's ideas that physics exists differently and relate differently in different universes, which could be true, meaning that there might be one specific rule that people can't break out of.
Yeah. I mean, that goes back to our, the theory of relativity and all of these things that kind of set parameters for the human race and for our expansion outside of the Earth, because there are factors that we can't take into account because we don't know them.
Yeah.
And certain factors, even if it deviates by, 0.0001 or 0.1 to the negative whatever.
When you multiply that by billions of space.
Even the slightest deviation can cause complete disarray. Yeah. So we don't have any way to prove this, of course, because it's only a theory. Yeah. But it's just fascinating to see the kinds of things that come out of theories.
Yeah, I know.
But this whole black hole thing makes no sense.
No.
It has no root in physics as we know.
I'm waiting for them to tell me that's just a fucking camera glitch. Something stupid like that. Oh, sorry guys, one of our people accidentally put their finger and it hit the camera, or they hit a button on the fucking panel.
It's actually just a smear.
Yeah.
Right, it's just a smear.
I thought it was light. It's smooth.
And that object, it was actually like a grain of sand on top of the fucking telescope.
Lens, they just like ting.
Damn it, guys.
Real close.
So, moving on to the next topic, I know you had another topic that you really wanted to talk about.
So this one regards the future of automobiles. And so in this article I was reading, they're with self-driving cars,
which is a big thing now, yeah.
It'll be something.
Mm-hmm.
But once they develop this, or in the development of this, they're gonna have to decide moral issues.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's say there's a scenario where the cars decide, do I kill my driver or do I kill the people outside? Hold on.
No.
Outside.
Listen.
Let's say there's something that just pops up in front of the driver and I can turn left and kill 20 people, or turn right into
kill
a wall
one.
and kill my
I
driver.
100% believe that the cars will already know what is the most. They will drive straight. They will drive through that object and they will kill it. Because
Really though?
They will kill
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. If something jumps in front
Whatever
of a car,
that is.
No, like let's say
poses
there's
the
like
issue?
a tree or something. Like a tree just falls down,
Mhm.
and then the car has to turn right into something that kills the driver,
Yeah.
or turn left into a group of people. The car has to make.
Yeah.
The car has to be programmed to make that
or
decision.
the car probably would at this point have technology good enough to probably stop or protect itself from a crash.
But
Yeah, okay, but it's saying
Yeah.
if it's a scenario where it has to choose.
Yeah.
Do I kill the driver or do I kill the people outside of the car?
because I
Like,
mean, you can't
that's
just shut down the car and expect something to happen, because even with that, if you shut down the car and there's traffic, it's going to kill the driver and possibly injure several others behind.
We're talking
them.
about fully automatic cars, right?
Yeah,
The fully automatic cars.
automated, fully
Automated.
automated.
This is a weird question because there's so many scenarios that would have already possibly been thought out by then.
I don't think that.
Yeah, but it's saying though, like if this situation were to happen, you have to have it programmed so that it can make that decision.
Yeah.
I believe that. I don't know. I don't think it would crash into another car because those cars would already be talking to each other. So I guess it would crash into the group of people. To be fair,
No, but they'd have to program it to decide what's the best decision. And
Do-
it's also talking about like people who are just like
Right.
pedestrians.
Yeah.
Like, does it choose to hit pedestrians? Does it choose to hit a wall? Does it choose to hit another car?
It's
Does it try to
choosing
hit
the
an
lesser
object?
of two evils.
Yeah.
At this point, it's like, do I kill one person, or do I end up making the decision to kill several others but preserve the life of this one?
Yeah.
See, it wouldn't even be almost about just preserving. I mean, if it crashed into another car, that would shut down the whole system. Like every other car that's behind it would have to stop because this would be like a track kind of cars going down a very similar path.
Yeah.
And I don't think that every car would also be fully automated that's driving on the road, because that kind of technology would probably at that point still cost a lot. And the way that we are, people are more likely to want to
How
spend the least
futuristic?
amount
How
of money.
futuristic is this concept? Like just in the next 10 years?
This
or the
concept
next
could
20
be
years?
easily
Yeah.
within the next few years.
No, I know that, but like the idea is for fully automated cars is they want every person to drive a fully automated car because it limits human error.
Right.
It limits a lot of things, and it makes you be able to go faster.
But that also
Ideally.
that puts the decision of disseminating these kinds of cars onto either governments or private companies who will provide this for people, because people are going to continue to drive their own cars,
Yeah, which
are not
which
fully
would eventually
automated.
be legal, and hopefully they would set up like tracks for people who really don't want to give up their cars.
Yeah.
That would require a huge amount of change in infrastructure, though.
Yeah, I mean,
So it's
with
impractical
with
for
every
a government to do
great
that.
great
These would be like hover
invention
cars
stuff
at
like
this
that.
point.
Hover cars, they don't really like. Oh, you mean like they would still stick to the ground, kind of? Or
Well,
like fly in the
just
sky?
they'd be high enough so that way you can have normal traffic for people who can't
Yeah,
afford it
okay.
yet,
Yeah.
and then you have the hover cars.
Possibly that would be a while away though.
That's
Yeah.
That kind of technology would be
I don't-
several decades, if not.
See, the people who don't want to drive are people who have no want for human progression.
Eh,
I don't think it's
It's holding on to old world ideals.
I don't think that it's a dislike of human progression. I think it's more that, as far as I know as far as the people in my life
Yeah.
and the people that I know that at least live in this kind of city, it's not based on a dislike for human progression. It's more based on the fact that it's either unaffordable or it's just it's not practical to them for whatever reason. It's not practical to them in their line of work or whatever, or in their lifestyle. It's not practical to them, so it's not a dislike of human
I
progression.
mean, in the next
I don't know, I do think though there's a bit of a lack of control that's garnering a bit of fear there too, though.
yeah, I mean, for
Yeah.
a while, a lot of people don't trust technology even today. So
Yeah.
why would they trust something that's supposed to,
Yeah.
be in charge of their lives?
We would have to implement measures that make technology that much more trustworthy.
I mean,
Because-
technology is
well,
already more
But
trustworthy.
with
than
this
people.
though,
That's true.
one thing that I took note of is if we were to manage like to choose this moral issue, we're essentiusly putting emotional intelligence into technology because it has to make emotional decisions.
which is, it would. I think it would be more of a
Do you
like,
think that will cause more trust for people,
yeah,
knowing
yeah.
that the technology now can grasp emotion better?
Possibly, but it probably would. But it's also terrifying.
I don't know if it
that-
would be emotional though. I don't think. I mean, you could say that it's emotional, but it would
It's
be
emotional intelligence.
It would be emotional intelligence. But as far as we're concerned at this point in our progression of technology and robotics and stuff like that, emotional intelligence is so far away. Even if this is, several decades into the future and we're all driving automated cars and everything, I think that emotional intelligence is so far away that it would be more based in an algorithm that would decide that, to pick between the lesser of two evils and to preserve the lives of many over the life of one.
Yeah.
And I think it would be less emotional intelligence, but you could market it, of course, as, yeah, well, this is a feature. It's emotionally intelligent. It'll make the decision for you to either, blah, 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 or kill several people. And then that kind of puts the fear in people as well. That would put the fear in the masses immediately, like, oh my God, I'm going to die. Like, no. This is an emergency situation, and this is the decision that we have to make.
It's kind of like the same concept of somebody putting a donor on their card. People are afraid that when they have the donor thing, they're automatically going to be, more likely they're not going to try to help that person because, they're an organ donor, so they want to give it to other people. It's kind of like the same concept.
Yeah. It's just, this leads into a whole discussion, like a whole deviation on human ethics and the technology and the way that we progress. And of course, the fear of fully automated, artificially intelligent beings.
That's a long ways away.
That is a long ways away. But they are our greatest minds in society right now, like Stephen Hawking and Bill Gates and all these really, really intelligent technology frontier people that all say artificial intelligence is a terrible thing and it will probably cause the extinction of the human race.